when you're trying to create any kind of a service, new service, for which you are seeking a finance or seeking financial help, there should be valid proposition. There should be a valid value proposition to establish that yes, that particular structure is going to be sustainable. When any financer or when any private equity, of course, we should not talk about private equity here more because they don't come, at the initial stage. They cannot absorb that kind of risk. So it's only the angel investors or the venture capital companies or the strategic angel investors. So essentially, when any kind of an investor comes, the first and foremost thing which they look at is not how profitable is the project. The first thing what they look at is how sweet and how easy is the entry points, and how fast is the exit. So, if you try to look from an investor's perspective, you need to create those entry points and exit points that can come in different kind of parameters and different kind of a setup process. So that gives a confidence to the finance. The second part is when any, like Abhay was presenting, and I heard Abhay saying, of course I didn't hear the other presentation which Abhay was telling, that finance is available today. I would make a polite, I would politely refute this statement with my thought process. Finance is available. Finance is available only to those people who create something unique and differentiated. Finance is not available to all. Some of the cases, you might say that, no, we go through busycircle.com, we go through techcircle.com. Every day, I'm seeing that, Mr. Sinha, how you can talk like this, how you can tell like this. That's how, you have to relate to my other statement. There is a difference between funding by a legacy company, a company, which has a legacy in funding, and the kind of a companies which has just mopped up something with the money lying not in their hand, but the decisions, in US, so, or, the decisions in other tax havens. There is a problem. And the kind of an m-commerce deals which are happening, even nowadays, I think, if somebody is just trying, to sell something, shoes, on the portal, even they are getting money. But again, there has been, some kind of a gradual transition from people, looking more at a manual transaction rather than the online transactions. So what I'm trying to tell all of you is that getting finance is easier, but then it only becomes easier when you create something which is unique and differentiated. How you make it unique and differentiated? For that, you need not only understand the engineering aspect. You need to understand the strategic aspect of that. We combine a lot of strategy consulting aspect along with the financial aspect. So it is not only the financial engineering or the financial re-engineering or financial de-engineering which tweaks or helps an investment banker to really look at putting up and playing in the football field. People who are aware of the valuations. So really, those days are gone. Post 2008, 2009, there has been, in any kind of a project, any single project, if it comes from 4 different people, you cannot just extrapolate. All are unique projects, all are like fingerprints. So you need to have individualized, personalized attention to that. Take it, from a strategic angle. Everything, cannot be done through finance. Everything cannot be done through financial engineering. So, I think that if you all have any kind of a projects, if you all have any kind of a thought process in mind that you would like to launch this kind of business service, you would like to launch this kind of a product, there has to be sustainable efforts in understanding that how you can bring a strategic aspect into a presentation. Because until and unless you bring a strategic aspect, you cannot just come up with a sustainable framework. Before I end up my presentation and understand some kind of a Q&A from your side, we as a company, we have been tracking this renewable fields. Why I'm talking about renewable is, of course, I came to know from Rajiv Jain, the director of Indian Semiconductors Association, ISA, that Professor Prem Kalra is very passionate about renewables and especially promoting solar. So I also got sometime, a chance, to interact with him